I would like to call to order the May 6th, 2026 Citizens Advisory Committee meeting to order. Can we have the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Ruth, can we get a roll call, please?
At this time, I'm only asking those CAC members attending in person to respond by saying here when I call your name. I want to remind you to unmute your microphones by pushing the button on the base prior to responding. Lily Charlotte Landstrom. Aquanet Tyson Thomas. Kate Layden is absent. James Garvin.
Here.
Tay Gaines. Paula Ryan. Jim Knight.
Here.
Lauren Steve.
Here.
Cheryl Murente.
Here.
Vijay Mishra.
Here.
Michael Cuervas.
Here.
James Lafferty.
Here.
Greg Fagan.
Here.
Albert Richwagon. Win Dang. Alex Freeman is absent. We have a quorum. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ruth. Also want to take 1 minute here and welcome a new member to the CAC, Phil. Welcome, representing the city of Lake Worth Beach. Glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Appreciate it. All right. So, Ruth, are there modifications to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Are there any changes to the minutes from last meeting? If not, can I get a motion to adopt the minutes as presented?
Move to adopt.
Motion by Dana, second by
Vijay.
VJ. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Instructions on how to provide public comment are included in the agenda. Staff, have we had any general comments from the public been received?
No, Mr. Chair.
As a reminder for action items on the agenda, there are conflict of interest forms available for anybody on the committee if needed. At this time, I want to invite any CAC member comments on items not already on the agenda. So if anyone has anything to say, good for the order. All right. Quiet crowd today. All right. So I want to invite Matthew Massa, Senior Transportation Planner, to provide an update on the CAC Liaisons Report. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Happy National Bike Month, everyone. So municipalities are encouraged to celebrate National Bike Month here in May and National Bike to Work Week, which is May 11th through the 17th, and Bike to Work Day on May 15th. So we encourage everyone to go to bikeleague.org/events/bike-month to learn more. It's also National Bike and Roll to School Day, which is today. May 6th is National Bike to School Day. For resources and planning of the events and to see who's doing events, please visit walkbiketoschool.org. Also, Safe Streets and for Roads for All grants, SS4A grants, are available now. So USDOT has opened new Safe SS4A grant cycle applications are due May 26th. We encourage you guys to go to your municipalities and contact staff so we can help you with those applications and get projects in. So we encourage you to go to transportation.gov/grants/SS4A to learn more and contact staff. The Autonomous Vehicle Conference we held at the BRIC, so the Boca Raton Innovation Campus, on May 29th. You can register at autonomousvehicleconference.com. There's also the e-bike and golf carts workshop that the MPO will be hosting on June 4th from 9:30 to 11 a.m. And this will be a virtual event. So if you go to palmbeachmpo.org/e-bike golf carts, you can learn more and stay up to date as we finalize preparations for that workshop. There's also bicycle-friendly American designations. Those applications are due June 27th. And for bicycle-friendly communities, it's August 5th. Oh, sorry, June 27th for bicycle-friendly communities and August 5th for bicycle-friendly universities. To learn more, go to bikeleague.org/BFA. There's also the ongoing countywide transportation master plan that's underway. We encourage you to go to pbcmoves.com to continue to follow up and learn more, especially if your municipality needs further assistance to get your projects and information into the plan. And as always, go to palmbeachmpo.org/participate to keep in touch with events and MPO scheduled workshops and information. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Matthew. Are there any public comments on this item?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. So we're gonna move on to item 2A, which is an action item. Mosage to recommend. Sorry, Cheryl. By all means.
No, I just wanted to share as well, downtown West Palm Beach, we run the bike valet every Saturday, but May 9th, for National Bicycle Month, we're gonna be giving out helmets in case anybody's interested.
Oh, awesome. That's wonderful. Dana?
That's at the bike valet that you'll be giving them out.
Yes, at the bike valet and Grain Market.
Thank you.
Wonderful. That's always a great public service. Thank you.
And Cheryl, if you don't mind sending that information to staff, so we can also help you blast that out.
Great. All right, so going back to action item 2A, motion to recommend adoption of amendment number 1 to the Vision 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan. I invite Andrew Euler, Deputy Director of Programs, to present on this item.
Thank you,
Andrew?
Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. So this action item, which is the Long Range Transportation Plan Amendment, and then also the second action item for you today, the Transportation Improvement Program, both involve the same project. It is County Road 880 from MLK Junior Boulevard to State Road 80, Southern Boulevard. There's a lot of background on this request to get this amended into our planning documents. So to present first, just an overview of this product, we have FDOT District 4 staff here, and then I'll follow up after the presentation to provide more of the information related strictly to the amendment process.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlie Dominguez. I am with FDOT District 4. I work in the design section under Chris McCurdy, who is a project manager for this project. So yeah, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to be talking about the rehabilitation of County Road 880 from MLK Junior Boulevard to Southern Boulevard. Agenda, we'll talk about project location, background information, recent developments, existing condition, project overview, design and construction estimated timeline, and project funding. So for overview of the project location, there in the yellow, you can see the location of County Road 880, which is where the limits of the project will be, everything in the yellow. And you can see the city of Belle Glade on the west side, and the westernmost side of the project, where it's highlighted as phase 1, that is the most critical location of the project. So that's where we're going to be focusing the beginning of this project. So we'll start with there and then move along east. Some background, County Road 880 was originally constructed in the 1920s on top of unsuitable soils known as muck. So with it being constructed on muck, the road has deteriorated over time. There's been routine maintenance, but it's been just declining ever since. It's a 2-lane, 2-way roadway. It serves as a primary route for agriculture, truck traffic, and passenger vehicles. County Road 880, formerly State Road 80, was transferred to the county in 1994. And now the new State Road 80, it serves as the secondary alternate route in that area. There are several bridges within the project limits. 2 of those bridges are scheduled for replacement by Palm Beach County. First bridge scheduled for replacement is County Road 880 bridge over the C-51 canal, which was originally constructed in 1937, and the Sam Setner Road bridge, which has an anticipated letting date of 2026. Some recent developments is that in recent times, Palm Beach County has been working with stakeholders and performing regular maintenance along County Road 880. So they've been maintaining it to to the condition where it's at right now. And FDOT has been working with partners for solution-driven approaches to roadway improvements. So working with the local stakeholders and also working with Palm Beach County. Existing conditions, as mentioned earlier, there's extensive areas of poor pavement conditions due to the unsuitable underlying soils. I've driven the road and it's very much like speed bumps along the road. You could tell it's not suitable for daily driving, and the existing guardrail along the corridor does not meet the current FDOT criteria. It's too low. As you can see in that picture to the left, current criteria requires the guardrail to be a little bit higher. And that bridge over the C-51 canal has reached the end of its service life, but that will be handled by Palm Beach County for the replacement of that bridge. And for project overview, the roadway, we're going to have a roadway jurisdictional transfer from Palm Beach County to FDOT. That roadway transfer creates opportunities for federal and state funding, so it opens up more opportunities for that. And a tip amendment for fiscal transparency would help get the funding aligned for this project. We have completed data collection for this project, that being pavement data, subsurface information collection, traffic data, survey, and title work to get the project moving along before the design. And with that, we use that information to identify the needs of the project and which sections to prioritize, that being the westernmost side of the project, County Road 880. We have met with the agriculture industry and the sugar industry and hearing from them what their needs are with this road, and they've spoken to us about how important this road is to them, and we meeting with them got to know how much of a impact the Palm Beach County has in the greater United States for supplying a lot of the agriculture for the country. Project timeline, I guess beginning in February 2026, this is I guess we're beginning the planning of this project. We began working with partners to identify innovative strategies to address the deficient pavement conditions. We began a feasibility study to evaluate the potential pavement rehabilitation options. So we came up with multiple options depending on the cost and how much money we have and what we can do. That's what the feasibility study was determining. We also conducted multiple field reviews throughout earlier in this year to be able to better understand the condition of the road. In March, we participated in multiple coordination meetings with Palm Beach County, and we began preparations to advertise the design services. In April 2026, that is last month, we advertised the design services contract. So now that the project is currently being advertised, it's under a cone of silence. So we, at least DOT, cannot speak on the project. I can't answer any questions regarding this project. So there's that. And for August, once the project is let, or is anticipating to be let in August to September 2026. That's when we will execute the design services contract. And in summer of 2028, that is when the beginning of construction is anticipated for the first western 6 miles, phase 1. For funding, A tip amendment is required to align project with the funding years. As of now, for DOT, we have $2.7 million programmed for design in fiscal year 27 and $32 million programmed for construction in fiscal year 28. The final local funding participation amount is to be adjusted based on the upcoming commitments. So that is all I have for you all. Here's the contact information for the project manager, Chris McCurdy. She couldn't make it today, so I filled in for her. So feel free to reach out to her through her email or her phone number. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Thank you. And then we can take questions after I go through my few slides. I just have a few more.
Yep.
That talks a little more about what we're doing today as an action item. And so the product that Charlie just went through, County Road 880, is up for amendment in our long-range transportation plan. So this is our 25-year horizon planning document. And the LRTP really serves as a basis as you build your transportation improvement program, which is our 5-year funding of federal and state funds within our county. And so it's required to be in the LRTP and then the TIP. And so what the action item for you today is amending this product into the plan. Charlie went through the location of this. So again, it's 18.7 miles, formerly State Road 80. It's going to be transferred from the county back to FDOT. And here's a picture we took, our staff. We went on the road a couple months ago. You kind of see where it starts to undulate in the roadway and have a lot of cracking and other unlevel issues that leads to safety concerns. So when is an LRTP amendment needed? This is a broader requirement than the TIP when it comes to what triggers an amendment. The thresholds are larger. But this one specifically is adding a new product to the cost fuel plan within our LRTP. And as a reminder, this only impacts the product in the amendment. So you're only voting on this one product, County Road 880, to go into the LRTP. You're not voting on the LRTP as a whole. And so this is specifically adding that product into the cost fuel plan. It actually exists right now in our illustrative list that's in the LRTP. And really that illustrative list is meant for MPO supported projects, but maybe the product isn't far enough along where it has a good enough design to put it into or concept to put it into the LRTP, or it doesn't have any identified federal state funding sources. So then it just exists in the illustrative list. And with the illustrative list, it really does show that the MPO supports it. So locals can still go for funds for it, competitive grants, discretionary grants at the federal and state levels, and the MPO will support that effort. But once those funds are secured, example here is this County Road 880, it does need to be amended into the full cost feasible product list. And that cost feasible product list is basically knowing that, yes, it's supported by the MPO, but also has the identified funding sources, hence the cost feasibleness. So this is adding County Road 880, and the description is going to be road reconstruction, including stabilization of the road base and resurfacing. And the way the LRTP works is it's in different time bands. So it is 25 years horizon. The first time band is the first 5 years, and it mirrors the transportation improvement program. So this, when we adopted, was 25 to 29. So you're going to see it listed for $2.6 million of design and $34 million of construction for a total of $36.8 million in that first time band, 25 to 29. The funding associated with this product is going to be federal and local funds. It's currently open for public review. It went on the website the same day that your packet went out last Wednesday, and then it'll be taken up at the governing board meeting on May 21st of this month.
Thank you, Andrew. Do we have any public comments on this item?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right, open up to the committee for questions. If you have your question, just put your placard on the side like we do. Thank you. And Ruth, for the record, please show Albert Richwagon is present. Thank you. VJ.
All right, so first of all, thank you to DOT for bringing this project. This is a very much needed project, driving there for over 2 decades on that road. I would say it has gone through the county has done a lot of work on it. They have been doing some improvement on the road they have been trying, but it gets used roughly also because we have a lot of local farming community use that road, and their equipment are much bigger than what that road can handle. So it has gone through a lot of improvement, but right now this needs a lot of work. And as the DOT mentioned, this was built without removal of the muck. And then it driving on that road is like driving on a roller coaster sometime. It goes up and down, and the probably one of the most scary thing on that road is that there is no shoulder that you can stop if you want to. So I'm glad this project is being brought up, and it's going to move ahead if it gets approved here. So again, I obviously want to thank DOT for bringing the project up and actually transferring the road back from the county to DOT. I think it is much needed project, so I'm fully supportive of that.
Thank you, Vijay. Win.
Thank you. This question is for Andrew. I'm just curious, what funding code is coming out of this, and if there's any projects that's being sacrificed to within the next 5 years?
It's a good question. You don't see it. It's a larger sort of source that breaks down this federal and state funding in the LHP. But when we get to the TIP amendment, you'll see the very specific funding code that's going to go towards it. Right now, it's majority local funds, and then there's around $9 million of federal National Highway Performance Program funds for it. Those funds are given to the state. I forgot how much they get. They get maybe 300 million a year. It's a lot of money. And those funds go towards needs on the national highway system or off the system if it meets certain eligibility criteria. So that's going for this. And those National Highway Performance Program funds are really meant for furthering the goals, performance measures that we have on the national highway system. So travel time reliability. So you think about like Southern Boulevard, I-95, Beeline Highway, US 27. It can also go towards asset management, such as major bridge reconstruction on the national highway system or major resurfacing jobs. So it is one that is prioritized by the state. Whether other products are being sort of could go in the place of this product if things are shifting for our county specifically. We're not using any urban area formula funds that we get directly as an MPO to prioritize. We made it clear to FDOT to use other funding sources. So there's funds that are available through the federal government and the state that can be used outside the urban area. And those are the funds that we're hoping that we'll see on this project in the future. Right now, it's just those National Highway Performance Program funds, the federal government. And those funds, and one more thing there is, that's more of a collaborative effort. You know, we provide a priority list to FDOT, and that the district works with the state central office to get things prioritized for those funds and a few other funding pots that they oversee. And so we're always trying to push for those priorities, but again, in the end, it's their priority list, and we are here to really approve those funds into our plan, or not approve them into our plan.
Jim?
I had a comment and a question, and I don't know if the question can be answered. We'll start with a comment. One of the things a lot of people don't know is that Palm Beach County is the largest agricultural area east of the Mississippi. And if you think about that, that's pretty significant. And so it is important, I think, for this road to get done and so forth, and for the farmers out there. I was just curious, how deep, and then maybe they can't answer it, but how deep does the muck go, and how much has to be removed across that entire site? Is that because of the bids out? I don't want to violate anything. That's why I was cautious about that.
I'm not sure. I think when they finish up design, we'll have more answers for you on that. I think they're still trying to figure that out themselves. And so you might see, this might come back to you, this project, right? When they finalize that cost, once they get into design and more of that site analysis. They've done a resurfacing job on State Road 715, which heads northwest up to South Bay, recently resurfaced. Maybe some similar scope there. So maybe we'll see. They have some experience in doing these products, but I think they're still trying to flesh that out.
Lily?
I agree where this road is absolutely vital for our agricultural community. I was wondering though, is the costs associated with the C-51 bridge being added into this LRTP amendment, or is it going to be a separate project?
From my understanding, and I'll look towards maybe FDOT, I think the county's delivering that product separately. The
Okay.
two bridge products are going to be delivered separately from this project.
Okay,
So
great. Thank you.
I'm not sure that fully answers it for you, but
I equal what people have said. This is a much needed road and really essential for our agricultural industry out west. So I'm happy to see it finally moving up the priority list to being taken care of. This is really a big deal. So a couple questions I have is with the transfer of to FDOT, is that permanent or will it revert back to county ownership at a later date?
I don't know this. I'm not sure, Charlie, if you know the answer to that. I would assume it's permanent. I haven't seen the agreement. I wasn't part of those discussions, but I'm assuming it's
All right,
permanent.
so we'll assume there'll be a name change or something in the future if that does become a.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be turned to a state road. So,
Okay.
which opens it up to a few more funding pots, more state funding.
And that'll diversify the long-term maintenance costs, correct? Of keeping it up and.
Right, would be borne by the state. Yes.
Great. It said on the slide earlier, there was a local funding element that was to be determined. Can you guys explain that a little bit?
Bring it back up, and I'll jump ahead real quick.
Yeah.
To it. And a lot of these costs are preliminary to get this product moving. You know, they're going to be adjusted. I'm going to jump ahead for you, just so you can see it, and it'll be part of the TIP amendment. But so the two funding sources listed for this project that total the 2.6 in design and then 34 million in construction. It's the first one is ACNP, which is Advanced Construction National Highway Performance Program. Anytime you see the word advanced construction, really what that means is it's state funds that the state will later on seek federal reimbursement for under the National Highway Performance Program. So really, as I present it to you, I treat those as federal funds. And it goes with all those items I just mentioned earlier. And then the local funds, it's cataloged as LF. Those are going to be by Palm Beach County. Right now, it says $27 million in local funds. FDOT's still working through, what the total share of that was going to be by the county. But right now, what we see here is what we have for you today.
Okay. I'm assuming once the design documents and engineering is done, the cost will be formalized. We'll know to what extent the actual road is being rebuilt or just repaved or whatnot. Correct?
Right, exactly. And, if it triggers a larger change in the cost for a TIP amendment, which is 20% and $2 million, we'd come back to you all for that review. And then also, pending on the funding sources, we're always looking at which funding sources are being used on what projects. So it's important for us as well.
All right. And that's all I had. Any other comments from the committee? VJ?
One quick follow-up on the C-51. That's kind of a landmark now, probably for Western Palm Beach County. Are we gonna keep that bridge there for future, or are they gonna just demo the whole thing? The C-51 bridge. It's a unique bridge. I don't think we have anything like that anywhere else in Palm Beach County.
You can come up if you like her. I believe it's going to be both of those are going to be county projects that are already ongoing. So I'm not sure if Charlie knows the status of those or not, but I'll see.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the status of those projects, but those are county projects, not DOT projects, those two bridges. Yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing none. No further discussions. Can I get a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Motion by VJ, second by Jim Knight. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
I took
right.
this picture as well with the tractor on the road.
And we're gonna go on to 2B, which is a TIP amendment for the same project. So I'm gonna let Andrew continue, sir.
Okay. Yep. So this is the TIP side of it. So more stringent requirements for thresholds when it comes to a TIP amendment. Before, you're adding projects to different time bands, and there's larger scales of thresholds. This one still, we're adding it because it's a new project. So that's really what triggers this. But you can notice that if we were to ever change the project in the tip, it's really based on a more stringent cost estimate. So it's 20% and $2 million. Again, this only impacts the products in the amendment. So it's just the one County Road 880. So this one, exact same description that you're going to see from the LRTP. And we provided the funding breakdown. Again, it's going to be ACNP funds. So there's Advanced Construction National Highway Performance Program funds, and then local funds from Palm Beach County. Total is 2.6 in design, 34 in construction, and that's going to be fiscal year 27 and fiscal year 28. Also open for public review. So went out with the packet, it went on the website the exact same time that the packet went out. So it'll be up for adoption by the governing board this month.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Any more questions about this from the committee? Any public comments, Ruth?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right, can I get a motion and a second? Motion by Albert, second by
Second.
Wynn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. So we're going to continue on to items 3A, informational items, which is a draft fiscal year 27 to 31 transportation improvement program. So want to invite Matthew Massa to present on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is actually going to be for the 27 to 31 tip. So we went through now the LRTP and the 26 to 30. So this is the new fiscal year that we're going to be talking about. This is a first read for this month, and then you will see a second read next month. So the tip, we prioritize funds. The MPO coordinates with all federal and state transportation investments within the county, and those are all listed within the tip. And those funds we are directly received as the MPO prioritizes our list in the list of priority projects, our LOPP. And they're mainly meant to be utilized in the urban areas. So on the map here, you'll see the urban area kind of just east on the east side of the county, and then Belglade and Pahokee also being included, South Bay as well. And then just generally, what is the TIP? So for those who don't know, the TIP is a 5-year work program. It covers the fiscal years starting June 1st, and it is to ensure work program stability where projects are prioritized and programmed. So currently we're on the 26 to 30, and now we're going to be moving on to a new 5th year, so that's 31. And the idea of this is that projects are going to be carried over, and that only new like construction phases or later phases will be added on into that new 5th year. So again, big idea is that we're trying to maintain work program stability to ensure construction and phasing is on time and appropriated. So again, that process begins with planning, programming, going down to PDE, design, right of way, and construction. And you can see the years associated with those 1 to 2, with construction being more 1 to 3. And we're just trying to keep everything on schedule with programming for funding and then production schedules. So ensuring that those studies are being done, design is being finalized, and then any right of way needed is being attained, and then getting on to the big important part, which is construction, so we can see projects realized. And that development process really starts again with the LRTP. So you just went through that exercise where projects are put into the LRTP, they're prioritized. There's project applications, feasibility reviews, newest projects are ranked. So previously that was done the winter and spring of 2025 for the previous LRTP or for the previous tip. Then you have the list of priority projects, so that LOPP, where the MPO adopts the list, and that concerns mainly your major projects, local initiative program, which is slowly being phased out as it's been programmed, transportation alternatives, and Sun Trail, and that was done previously in July of 2025. Then you get into the draft tentative work program, so that's the next request of this, where the MPO endorses, makes changes, additions, deletions to the program. FDOT presents that work program per the statute, and that was done previously in October of 2025. And then now we get to this draft snapshot of a tip. So currently you're viewing the 27 to 31 tip here in May, with a final adoption set for June, so that we can begin the next fiscal year in the next 5-year cycle. And the tip sections, the tip is broken down into multiple project sections. We try to bucket them into 4 major areas, and then include the types for each. So again, the MPO prioritizes your major projects, your local initiative program, transportation alternative program, and Sun Trail network. The FDOT priorities and other projects. So there you'll find strategic intermodal systems, so like capacity projects for like federal state highways, other federal and state funded programs, projects, and then airport, railroads, seaports. You'll also find in that list the D4 district wide projects. So those are listed as an attachment in the backup. We also have operations and maintenance. So that's like your O&M for roadways, like pavement markings, resurfacing jobs, transit operations and maintenance throughout the year. And then something that we at the MPO do is we also provide locally funded project lists, and that's mainly for an informational purpose. So you'll see some of those county projects in there as well with different IDs. And then again, in the backup, just to highlight the summary tables with all those priorities. So on the left, you'll have your year in priority. You'll have your main bucket where the coming years are the adopted tips. So again, 27 through 31 is this new one, where the new fifth year is at the end. And then beyond the new fifth year, we also include any additional funding that would be needed further after for a new tip cycle into the future. So overall, just as a summary, this is about a $3 billion program for federal state turnpike funds here in the county. As you can see, the majority of that really going into the CIS capacities and specifically into turnpike, which is those capacity widening projects that you've been seeing throughout the county. And then of that, the MPO prioritizes about $418 million. And in that $418 million, we have 249 that go to roadway capacity. So that would be like your State Road 7 and Atlantic Avenue projects. We have about 63 million for complete streets, 73 for signals and intersections, 20 for vehicles and shelters related to transit, and then another 14 for lighting and safety. And that makes up the 418 MPO priorities within the TIP. And then just to get into some of the specific MPO priority project section updates. So we have 5 currently for the major projects. So that's going to be Forest Hill lighting, bus stops. We have Congress Avenue lighting for crosswalks. Indiantown Road at Centralville Boulevard, which is pictured on the right. That's a concept of the design currently. That's not the final design, but it's just a concept to show that it's in progress. And then we have Palm Beach County flashing yellow arrows and Palm Beach County signal upgrades. And then again, all these projects, with the exception of Indiantown, is slated for construction 31. So that new 50 year. For local initiatives, they've been fully programmed. So the last project on the list to get programmed is now the Palm Beach County flashing yellow arrows. And this is for your off-state roadways. So as opposed to the previous slide where they were on-state roadways. For TA, so our transportation alternatives, we have 4 new programs or 4 projects. Projects are now funded for construction in fiscal year 29. So that's again, Northeast 2nd Ave from Lake Worth to Congress, North Military Trail from Gardens Lake Drive to 95, and then from Winchester Drive to E3 Canal Pathway. We have the Northeast 4th Ave from Swinton to Northeast 7th Street. That's a traffic calming project. And we have Kirk from 10th Ave to Canal 9 Road, and that's a share use pathway. And then during this application process, just to show you on the right, this is a typical section for Northeast 2nd Ave from Palm Springs, and that's something you would see like in the application process. Just to highlight again, our strategic intermodal system, that big pot that was in the graph for the summary, where it's $1.6 billion, 1.4 billion, 1.445 billion, that goes to 12 turnpike capacity projects, and then 112 million is going to 11 I-95 interchange modifications or new interchange designs. And I'll break that down right here. So I-95, we have new tight diamond interchanges for Center Boulevard and 45th Street. And then 10th Ave, Lantana Road, and Hypoluxo are all for diverging diamond interchanges, or slated for diverging diamond interchanges. Boynton Beach is under construction, and then highlighting that we're in fiscal year 26. So North Lake should start construction soon. And then going into next year, we should see Palm Beach Lakes and Forest Hill start construction as well for their interchange projects. And if they don't have a TDI or a DDI, you can expect ramp modifications or simple projects that are not as extensive as a full interchange redevelopment. And then for your turnpike projects, you have basically these are all your capacity projects except for Hypoluxo. This is all the widening that you might see along Southern Boulevard, like with the turnpike bridges being fully widened. So right now we have, again, Southern and Okeechobee, West Palm Beach Servo Plaza, Boynton Beach and Lake Worth, and then Broward to Glades Road they're under construction right now for their widenings. In 26, we have Beeline and Okeechobee, so that's just kind of the projects moving northward to get to the Martin County line. So you'll see it slowly, progressively as we go into this tip that the widenings should eventually end off by the Martin County line at the end of this. And then with that, we have the final adoption at the governing board meeting. So right now we're in review. We've been in review since agendas went out. So April 29th through June 18th, when it will be finally adopted at the governing board meeting. Updates to projects. We have you can look on our interactive map for update project details. The backups also have details. We have an interactive map, which we are still waiting for some GIS mapping, and we'll update that as well. And then also to look at any transit and local projects that we have packaged together there. So we encourage you to go to palmbeachmpo.org/tip to see the link and learn more. And with that, any questions?
Thank you, Matthew. Ruth, are there any public comments?
No, Mr. Chair.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Greg?
A general one that affects our county, but mainly from the north, which is the Turnpike I-95 direct interconnect that's supposedly started up in Martin County.
Yes.
But it backs up, those of you that drive in the north end, the Indiantown Road, I-95 Turnpike interchange is really backing up substantially. And so is the Okeechobee Turnpike connection, which is under construction. What is the status of that direct connect? Because it could be I think it's being designed to be a reliever for this backing up in the north end.
Oh, yeah. Victoria Williams from Turnpike can provide some updates on that.
Good afternoon, Victoria Williams. I'm MPO Liaison Administrator for FDOT Turnpike. And we're studying on that. There's been a lot of coordination meetings that we're doing with the county as well as Town of Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter area as we move forward. So we're still in the study phasing. I'm looking to see in my paperwork what other kinds of funding we have, but at this time, we're also in study for advancing the widening of the turnpike going north out of Palm Beach County into Martin. So we are still looking forward at those at the status. Our last work program, that project is on our website. I have a project number if you'd like. It's to construct the new interchange at the Turnpike Main Line at I-95 and the direct connection at Bridge Road. That's around milepost 125 on the Turnpike. And I'm seeing here that our funding for the study is $24,700,000 in fiscal year 2030. So as we move forward, we're going to see if that money gets advanced forward. But a lot of that early coordination is what we're asking stakeholders to give us input. That's the status as of our last work program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, sir.
So Safe Streets and Roads for All and Vision Zero Action Plan updates. I want to invite Margie Tamblin, Senior Multimodal Planner, to present on this item.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so I'm going to do an update on the SS4A, so Safe Streets and Roads for All, and Vision Zero Action Plan. And again, Margie Tamblin, Senior Multimodal Planner. So the Safe Streets and Roads for All, we have an Excel spreadsheet that we use to track applications that are going out this fiscal year, and also awards that have been awarded for the Safe Streets and Roads for All grants. So that's action plans, planning and demonstration grants, things of that nature. So we reached out to all municipalities to get an update. And you also receive that in your packet. I know it's a little small to see there, but we can also pull it up later if we need to. Anywho, in regard to that, we reached out to all municipalities to get an update on where they're at in terms of their action plans or their planning and demonstration grants. You may not be planning to apply, but your municipality may be planning to apply, and we've reached out to all of them and let them know that if they are, to let us know. We will provide support letters and then confirm confirmation or confirm coordination with FHWA in regard to that. And that application is due on May 26th, 2026 at 5 p.m. And then on to the fiscal year 26 report for the Vision Zero Action Plan. We have some fun items to kind of share with you. And our main focus for our Vision Zero Action Plan is the 5 E's. So engineering, education, encouragement, evaluation, and enforcement. And we also focus on the safe systems approach. So that's safer people, safer vehicles, safer speeds, safer roads, and in the event that there's a crash, post-crash care as well. So for some engineering highlights, we helped conduct 3 technical assistances and project development efforts. We've also conducted 3 electronic review comments. So essentially that's FDOT provides us with information on plans like for roadways, lighting plans, things of that nature. And then we provide comments to let them know, hey, this is what we think might be missing. Maybe there's tactile discs that are missing that we need to add. And we make those comments and let them know what they need to fix to improve the conditions as they go through building stuff. And then we did 3 road safety audits, and those were in partnership with FDOT. And you can see that on the right side of the slide, what that report would look like, and also what it looks like in the field underneath that report. We did 5 walk bike safety audits at local elementary schools this past fiscal year. And yeah, that's what we have in regard to engineering. In regard to education, we did 10 outreach, tabling, and training events, and we reached about 393 people through those safety fairs, tablings, and trainings. We hosted 3 MPO committee meetings that were focused on SS4A and Vision Zero. We had 2 workshops that reached 111 people. So that's an e-bike and micromobility workshop and a building support for walkable and bikeable communities. We had a crash reporting toolkit that was rolled out. And then in regard to Safe Routes to School, again, those 5 walk bike safety audits at local elementary schools, 1 Safe Routes to School workshop, and then a Safe Routes to School action plan that is in progress and should be delivered around June. In regard to encouragement, we had 5 community encouragement events, walk and roll to school day, bike month events, so bike month proclamations that we pushed out, and we have those on the slide as well. We reached around 260 participants through our encouragement activities this fiscal year. And Palm Beach MPO, if you weren't aware, is named a best workplace for commuters and a bicycle-friendly business. We completed 1 local mobility plan. We have 2 mobility plans that are ongoing, and then 1 plan that is potentially in the works. In regard to enforcement, you can see us here at the Palm Beach County Micromobility Task Force meeting. And then we have information about school zone safety camera implementation. We're tracking that across the county, and we are working with local jurisdictions to implement speed management strategies. As we know, that's a big issue here. And then in terms of evaluation, we had 1 annual Vision Zero progress report that was published and presented, 4 safety-focused workshops that were completed or planned, 1 staff Vision Zero orientation, 8 coalition meetings that were attended statewide and locally, with 3 more that are scheduled, and 1 crash dashboard update and continuous project tracking for transportation alternatives, local initiatives, and major projects. We're working on getting a before and after evaluation methodology, just to kind of evaluate projects and how they roll out and how well they're working. And we have a central repository of safety plans that's maintained and updated here in our office. So with that, is there anything fun happening in your municipalities? Anything you'd like to share? That's all I have.
Thank you, Margie. Are there any public comments on this?
No, Mr. Chair.
Any comments from the committee? Dana?
Where can we get additional information on the application So we can share that with the.
I can send it to you if you'd like. I
Okay.
can have Matthew send it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any further questions from the committee? All right, seeing none. Thank you very much, Marjorie. Items 4A through 4D are informational only administrative items. There will be no staff presentation unless requested by a committee member. Anybody want one? Seeing none. Are there any public comments on these items?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right. Our next CAC meeting is scheduled for June 3rd, 2026. At this time, our committee meeting is adjourned.